Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? I know it's a drab, miserable, damp day, but do you know what? For the next hour, it doesn't matter, because all we're going to be doing is focusing on this little piece of paper, a little bit of drawing, a little bit of shading, and there we go. So, what we're doing today, where we're at, you can see, I don't know if you watched Marie's video on Monday, and she showed you how to use some pens to create some little backgrounds. Well, I've done just that here, and I've actually got a couple here, and I thought, being that it's a bit drizzly today, I quite like this one. And the fact that I've actually done this with a black pen, I quite like it, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use maybe my black for the top section, and then I've got my white pen, and I'm going to do it for the bottom section. So, woo, going to see how this goes. I do have another one here. I do have a pinky one. I'm going to leave that to one side, and I'm going to focus on this one. I am also going to bring the pens. I don't know if you saw the pens that she was using. They are the Bronzeal collection. I'm going to be taking them on Create and Craft on Saturday with me. But I've got some colours here as well. I'm hopefully going to add a little bit to it. So let's see how we go. Got lots of ideas, lots of things in mind. So see where we're at. Okay, regular pen, pencil, tortillon, and of course I've got my white pen, as I've just mentioned. A couple of colours. You can use pastels, you can use your coloured pencils, whatever you want to do. But I am using, as you can see, one of my creamy tiles, so it's got that little bit of texture. And I did do this, and it's totally dry now. I did it this morning. So yeah, let's see how we go then. So of course I'm going to have this bit at the bottom, this bit at the top. That's my decision. I've already made that decision. So where to start? I'm going to start with a pencil. I've got to sharpen my pencil and everything. Deep breath. And here we go. I'm going to just turn it this way, because what I want to do is I'm going to put myself a string, which we don't do a lot of the time. It's not going to be in the middle. It's going to be slightly lower. So I'm going to come down to here. Ever so lightly, I'm just going to draw. It doesn't have to be a straight line. Just a line from one side to the other. All right. Oh, good morning, Bob. How are you? Reminds me, yes, I am doing a live. When I say this evening, it's 9 o'clock tonight for me, but it's different times for people in America. So I'm over to Peterborough later to do that. I love doing it, actually. It's really exciting. Love it. Okay. All right. Got myself a pen. So here we go. I'm going to add. Let's have a little ball there. Okay, quite defined, and if you can see there we go. It's on my line. Oh, is it, Denise? Do you know what? I know in one sense it's not what you'd want to know, but it actually makes me feel better that it's raining there. In a nice way, of course. We're all sharing the same weather. Absolutely. I'm going to put one in the middle. All right, then let's have a look. I'm going to split my space. So I'm going to put 2 here, look, one there and one there. And I'm going to do the same here, look. I'm going to have one there and one there. See, this is the nice thing doing these backgrounds, isn't it? That you don't have to sort of worry about fitting in with something. It might be that you quite like a part and you want to keep it, but it's just going to be as a background. Oh, happy birthday, Deborah. Woohoo! Oh, boy, yeah, Peterborough. Yeah, no, it feels really weird. I can remember doing the address label. Oh, yeah. It's funny. All right, so I'm going to turn it to its side. You can do it any way you like. But let's just make it a little bit larger. Okay? All right, so remember when we do our curves, we like to go around the bubble we've done, and it just helps to give this sort of better type of curve. And I stand by that, and I think it's nice to sort of do it just to sort of reiterate the fact that we're working around something. So I'm going to do these wee little S shapes, just figuring it round. There we go. And all the way down. So you can see that line that I did was very pale. We can't see it anymore. It was just there to start us off with these little bubbles. There we go. I've got a nice row of bubbles look across there. Okay. Oh, I'm going to keep on with that. Oh, hi, Diane. I say nice to see you. It's nice to see. I do feel like I see you. It's fine. Okay. So let's sort of go back to this one. I'm going to make it a little bit larger so you can see it. And I'm going to follow around again, but this time I'm going to come out just a little bit, not massively, and then come back in. And then same again, but I'm going to come slightly further in here, and I'm going to do another one. All right. And then another one. And of course, this depends on if you've got any space left. That's, I'm going to put a little one in there. You see, each time I've stepped down. Okay, yeah, it does look a bit like waves, doesn't it? I do like these. I like these curly ones. So let's repeat that then. I'm going to come out a little bit and down. All right. And then back up and down. So let's have then step it out and step it out. So I've got 4 in there. Okay. Oh, Lorraine, you don't know what's coming? I'm sure you'll love it. All right. It does actually work quite nicely, doesn't it, with the black on that darker colour? But I think it's going to be nice to put a bit of white on. Okay, and then another one, 3. So this actually would make a really great frame tangle, wouldn't it? So if you've got, I don't know, maybe a square or even, you know, any of the shapes, it would work really well with. Okay. That's it. And there's my 3rd, and there's my 4th. All right. And then again, there's 1. And there's 2, see it's stepped it down a bit. And 3. It's like little pasta shells, aren't they? But yeah, I think it would make a lovely frame. Imagine actually doing it the same, you know, opposite, coming back round. That'd like give you a little bit of, maybe a little heart shape in the middle, wouldn't it? There's so many ways of doing these things. And of course, I'm only showing you one and how I do it. There's lots of other options, as I know that you're aware of. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. All right, so we've got that going across. Remember, it wasn't in the middle, it was slightly further down. But yeah, I like it. And the fact that, you know, you've got these colours in the background. It says, oh, hey, Joe. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is nice to all meet up. So that's really what we're doing, isn't it? All meeting up. Oh, margarita food already? Must admit, we did have a nice lunch today. We do eat very healthily here. Okay, so here we go. I've got my shape here and back on this side. Doesn't matter whether you start this side or this side. It's really fine. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, again, I'm going to come around here. So around, but this time I'm going to come up slightly. And then back in. Okay. You could use the ship stencils with this, Kathy. Yeah, that would be lovely. They're nice and sort of small enough that you can work with if you want to on a tile. Just gonna thicken that up a bit. See, I've got a bit thinner there, but that doesn't matter. And then let's do the same again. So let's come on back up. Now this time, I'm going to make this one a little bit taller. But I'm going to back down into that little hole again there. And then again, I'm going to make that a bit thicker and a bit thinner, just because, you know, I want it to be. Oh, Lynn. Oh, wait till Saturday. Oh. All right, see this one, I've got a different size again. You see this bit of a pattern forming here. It's they're not all going to be the same. And I know we don't all do random. So on this one, I'm going to do one a little bit smaller. There we go. There we are. Okay. You see all different sizes. So this one, let's go larger. There we are. See, always working back to that frame there. And then up and around. Okay. just going to do last one. Again, back into that little bubble there. And round and along there. Okay, so that's... I know, Lindsay. I keep trying. I keep trying to get you to do it. Now, looking along my line here, you can see that this one is joined. It's no gap. But here, look, I can get another one in. And then here, I can get another one in. So there's for breaking your random up. All right. Okay. Whew. All right, so next bit then, deep breath. Whew. We're going to work on the top section first, I think, and then we'll come down and work on this bit a little bit later on, if that's okay. And let's have a look. So I'm going to start this side. And here we go. So I'm going to sort of I'm going to start from the centre sort of point here, okay? And then I'm going to come up, and I'm just going to add a little sort of blob on the ends, like that. And then same here, along a little blob on the end, okay? So then I'm not going to come round here, I'm just going to come from the end bit here, follow it round, and then bring it back to the same point. And then same here, so I'm going to follow this one round. I'm going to keep it going. Round it goes to the point. All right. And then let's go up again, adding in that little curve there. And same here. See, I've changed the shape of it slightly. That's fine. I'm going to go a little bit out of it. Okay. So around we go. And back down, and the same this side, around and down, okay? So I'm going to squeeze another one in here, same sort of shape, and then bring it round and down there. And of course 3 this side, I want to put another one this side as well, so I'm going to look at my gaps there. I could put another one here, but I'm going to go sort of here. Let's have one here, and it looks like it's going underneath that one, you see. So then before, let's go up. All right, then there's quite a lot to be said for having things going behind others. It instantly gives you that sense of dimension that we're after. Okay. Oh, hi, Anne-Marie. Yeah, catch me later. All right, into there. Oh, Chris. But you know what? Just keep it going. Give it a go. And then if you get to the end of it and you think, still not, then by all means, cut a bit out that you like. Find a little bit that you like and cut it out. And do another one. But there's got to be something on there. So always aim to find something positive. All right. Oh, Helen, preview. Well, I have actually photographed samples that have been coming in from my lovely creative team, and I will put that on Facebook, but not today. I'm just waiting for a couple more bits to come in. But I will show you on Friday. I promise. We've actually had such fun with it. It's been quite interesting because I did send the stencils out to Saturday, Linda. Yeah, I did send the stencils out with no instructions. So you can imagine that there's a few different versions. It's great. Love it. But that's what we want. We want to see what you can do with these things, don't we? Sorry, girls. No, not really. All right. So, if I'm working my way around, and I'm just doing these lovely little shapes as I go. I know, Julie, it's funny though, isn't it? You've got to admit it's funny. They love it. They do. All right. And let's bring it round. I mean, I've already mentioned the pens, haven't I? So you know a little bit. Yeah. All right. So see how just working my way. I'm not really planning where they sort of go. You know, if it's going to go underneath, that's fine. Oh, Wendy, I know. He looks with such enthusiasm, doesn't he? He sits and puts his nose on the board. And then if you ignore him, he does press on it a little bit, so you end up with a wobbly line. It's funny. Oh, no, I'm not going to drop any more hints. But no, Benji does like to watch. And if I do leave a pen lying around, you can guarantee he's had a chew on it. I think he thinks it's fair game if I leave it. Oh, I know, Rhiannon, and I can't wait. A lot of parcels have arrived this morning. We've opened them at lunchtime, so we're really impressed, and I know everybody else will be. Everybody will love it. I think it's a bit. Some of them are very, very different, aren't they? And you can do cute with it. You can do cute. Yeah, I think that must be Benji's influence, actually. All right, so we've got these little trees going on. It's a nice sort of little bit of a tangle to do, isn't it? I mean, will it take over Zingers? Possibly not, but it's nice to have this in your little stash of tangles to sort of do, isn't it? There we are. You always want something a little bit different. And of course, you know, you could always colour these in with the ink, but I think I'm gonna add a little bit of colour into them in a little while. So we'll work on that later. Let's save that bit there. See, it's worked well, hasn't it? And then around we go. So they're forming quite a design, aren't they? Yeah, that's all you're getting, Kathy. Yeah. All right, so this one I'm gonna it's sort of coming up here, but I'm just gonna have like the little bit of it showing there, so you can see it's going in the background. But then let's bring this one here, so you sort of make the decision that it's all within there. That's it. And then back up and round. So you get the hang of them, I think, once you've started drawing these. Oh, you are, now you're asking. It's, oh my word, 7:30. So there's a double show then, and then it's 3 o'clock and 8:15. It's quite a long day there, so I've got to be up to be there for 5:30. Woo! No. You know, it's not the drive there, it's the drive back. I think that's the thing. Just look at that, like that. All right, a little bit more to do with it though. Let's go a little bit larger so you can see where we're going with this then. So I'm going to add in a little curl. There we are. And then this time I'm going to just thicken this. Now we've done this quite a bit. It's quite a pattern I've used. Well, not a pattern as such. It's more of a flourish, I would say. And I've been using this quite a bit in some of my sessions because I think it's a really good one to get to grips with. And also with the teacher in me is giving you the structure almost for one of the tangles that I know some of you struggle with. So it's really good practice to sort of get into that shape. If I just turn this over for a moment, you know, if we're doing that kind of shape, you know, where we start with the curl, we'll stop there and then come back down. It's giving us that shape. And I do know some of us do have a few choice words with that pattern, I know. So this actually will help you build your structure and to see where it's sort of almost there, isn't it? And then just take it a little bit further round. So it's just helping build that muscle memory, that particular shape. There we go. All right. So I think, yeah, I'm going to add one down here. See, that's going underneath. There we go. Now, if you want to, with But this shape here, it's your choice. You can leave it so that looks solid, or you can have it where some of the elements are coming underneath. So let's do that now. So let's have one of these swirls and let's have it coming inside. So that then definitely looks like this is at the front. And this is sort of nestled behind. There we go. See? Right, now I'm just going to add a little swirl on the end here. Just looks like it needs a bit of a finish. There we are. Maybe, you know, a little one there. Not too much. There we go. Okay. My little pony. That's really funny. Oh, do make me. There we go. See a little one in there. So yeah, I'm gonna put one in. Now again, you might find that you haven't got the space to put one of these where you're working on your piece. So if I just move out a bit, please by all means put them wherever works for you. Don't don't think you've got to copy mine exactly. It's just giving you a pointer. There you are, look. See, I'll get one in there, no problem. It's entirely up to you. If you only put a few in, or if you put lots in. I've got another I'm going to come in and put in a moment, so leaving a little bit of space around the areas. Yes, kettle's on. Leslie in the kitchen. There you are. Same here. There we go. So what are we thinking? It's point to ask about these Zoom shows that are going on. You know, where the presenter or the guest isn't actually in the studio. And we set it up the other week because we thought we might have to do it. But I'm not sure, you know, the quality, because I've watched a few and you can't always see the demos. And I'm just wondering whether, you know, we're thinking that it's difficult, isn't it? Because if that's the only way of actually doing it, you know, and carrying on, then we've got to do it. But I'm not so sure about them. It depends on what setup you've got, I suppose, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I'm not going to put one. I might actually put one this way in here. Like, see, just adding a little bit of weight each side, and then that one coming out. But I didn't want it to be a repeat of what's on the other side. There you are. All right, let's have a look. Yeah. I think that's it, Lindsay. Yeah, I mean, we've got it here, so we've got a camera on what I was going to do, but you have to have a camera showing you as well. I'm like, really? Why do you need to see me? Because that would mean I'd have to brush my hair and everything. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's all right, Helen. It's all right. It's just yeah. I just worry about the quality of, you know, of seeing what you could do. Right. Okay. I'm going to work here. I'm going to bring this line out, and then I'm going to add a little bobble on the top. There we are. Okay. And then we've done one similar to this before, but we've used like little teardrop shapes. But this time I'm coming in with these little bobbles. They do, Sue, they do. But if you're at home, you haven't got the same setup, have you? Oh yeah, I've just joined it to that first line. Okay. Let's have another one of those coming out here. So this is the great thing with having these little swirls, is that you can just go, oh, I've coloured that one in. It's alright, I'm going to have coloured ones as well then. Is you can just go straight through over the top of it. Oh, that's quite nice having the two, isn't it? Look, happy accidents, there we go. Yeah. So this one, like, I'm going to have bubbles like that. There we are. You're not going to see many down there. You see how it just sort of adds a little bit extra to it. I mean, I'm not going to go seriously mad and do hundreds of them, but it's nice to add a little bit of something in. Oh, do you, Rihanna? That's interesting. What kind of setup you've got then? I mean, to be honest, if we hadn't got the internet and things, we wouldn't be doing this now, would we? Thank you, Leslie. I suppose so, yeah, Karen. See how it goes. There we go. Just little bobbles. There we are. So, yeah, pick and choose if you want. You can use some that are coloured, some that are not. There we are. Let's have another one here. Is it different sizes? There we are. It's just little fillers. Just sort of adding to that little bit of depth, isn't it? Okay, let's so I don't want to put sort of one either side. Let's have one here. I'm going to fill this one. You see that background now? It's still there. It's still looking great, but it just adds that little bit of something to it, doesn't it? Just makes that little bit of difference. I mean, you can ink it afterwards, I know, but it's nice to have the options and do something a bit different. And of course, if you got the tile pack the other week, you've got 50 tiles to play with. And trust me, once you get going with a bit of watercolour and a bit of water, and you start inking some of your backgrounds, you'll think, oh my goodness, I want to do a few more of these. And I know we did some this morning, and Leslie's put salt on hers, and it's got a really nice feathery effect. So, yeah, you know, you can play and you can do all that kind of thing. You can do it on the super smooth tiles, but it doesn't sort of soak up as well. You'll get a different effect. And of course, if you've got different colours going on there, it's just about playing, isn't it? There we go. Oh, Vivian, yeah, what did I do? I don't know if you watched Marie's video on Monday. She showed you how to use some water brush pens with a bit of spritz of water, and then she'd literally just put a tile in the pens and let it dry. That's what I've done with this. So I think I used a black, purple, and a really vivid orange there. It's nice, but I didn't use salt on mine. I know Leslie's done some on hers. I kept it as just the colours and let them run and dry on their own. Don't use a dryer. Just let them do it on their own. They don't take long to dry. There we go. All right, let's have a look at where we're at. All right, look at that. Oh, okay, it wouldn't be one without extra bubbles, would it? Let's put a few bubbles in there. Not many, just a couple. Actually, it might be nice to come back and do that with a gold pen, maybe. You know, with that orange there later. All right. Okay. Whew, deep breath. She did, Chris. Yeah, she did. I saw her do it. Okay, so let's sort of shift it now, and I'm going to turn it around. Yeah. Oh, Lindsay, no worries. You don't have to do it all. Just do a little bit of something if you want. You put in as much or as little as you want. It's not a problem. All right, I'm going to come in now. I'm going to use a white pen. I'm just going to see how it goes. I mean, I could still use the black. You can see that it's still working. But I think it's nice to have a bit of a difference. And of course here we've got the white anyway, so I'm going to see how that goes. I think actually what I'll do, I'll come to that in a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to put in a bit of a line, just like we did before. Let's go a little bit larger. There we go. Oh no, she's good. She's lovely. There you go. See, I might even come in and just sort of colour that one in. There we are. And then same again. Oh, this is just lovely, this little bit, isn't it? So let's do, I'm not going to go too large with these. Do a smaller one. There we are. And then again, I'm going to come in and I'm going to fill that. But again, you might be using your black pen, so you can fill this little bubble or not. It's entirely up to you. I just think with having that bit of white there, this makes a difference. Oh yeah, Joe, that'd be quite nice, wouldn't it, with the chameleons? So That would work, yeah. Okay, so it's the same pattern that we did before. We're just not doing the bit in the middle. Although you could do the repeat version of it. Let's see, depends on what time we've got. Right, see, this is getting a little bit lighter now, but that's okay. And then here I'm gonna do quite a little one because I want to keep it within the colour if I can. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to come back in with my black pen, and now that's sort of dried, I'm just going to go back around those bubbles. So I've got white in the centre. And there we go. So you're just seeing that you've got the white there, but of course you've got to do that when the gel pen's dried. There you go. Okay, same sort of thing. Well, let's have a look. We could actually, let's bring that in. And my pen doesn't want to sort of do what it wants to do. Because I'm using quite a fine one, it doesn't always want to play. There we go. I'm just going to swap pens for a minute. What work? I need a bit more of a flow on it. Let's try that one. There we go. There we are. So okay, let's put that one in there again. Just stepping it down like before. Again, this is just an experiment, really. I didn't do this on the sample, but I quite like the idea of doing it. So just repeating that pattern, filling it in. There we go. Adding as many as I can in, so I'm not worried about whether they're all the same or counting them or anything. You're not going to see much of that, but I don't mind. Okay, alright, let's have a look so far. Oh, see, look at that. It's got these lovely little sort of swirls going in. It's not quite the heart shape, but it's sort of slightly offset, and I kind of like that. Alright, so let's turn it back round again. Okay, bringing it back in. Alright, so this time I'm going to work again from these sort of points. It's got a little bit larger. So I'm going to come on out, and where it sort of lands, and I'm going to put in a little bubble on the end. Okay, see that? So whether you're working with the black pen, the white pen, a gel pen, whatever you want to work with. Alright, so here we go. So this next bit, I'm going to go a bit larger so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to come from part way up this stem. I'm going to come up, and I'm going to see how's it coming. It's coming slightly off there. So it's a slight aura around, just to there. Okay? And then I'm going to come back on myself, like a little loop, see? And then repeat that, but this way. And then again, and each time it's going to get a little bit smaller till it forms a little bubble on the top. Alright, so let's try that again. I'm going to come from the same space. I'm going to pull out, and then remember I've got that little bubble on the end, and then from part way up around, it's about there, and then I'm going to come back on myself and create these little loop effects, but they're getting smaller each time till a little bubble on the end. All right, let's have a look at those. Okay, so I'm going to put another one in here. I'm going to bring it up here, round in that little bubble. I'm going to come part way up, bring it round to about there, and then as before, loop it round, getting smaller, a little bobble on the end. Okay, so here I'm going to, another one here now. Let's go here, around, and then bringing it up and around, and then follow it round, bubble on the end. Same again. It is, they're lovely, aren't they? They're really nice to draw as well. Once you get the hang of them, they're really quite, well, another addictive one, I suppose. Now you see I've got 3 in there and 2 in there. I'm not trying to do it so they've all got the same amount. Just sort of how many you think that would work in there. There we go. Just adding that little bubble on the top makes all the difference. It's lovely. And then of course, again, it's about, you're sort of not really in control because you don't know which way it's going to go until you start drawing it, and it sort of has a mind of its own. Yeah. Okay, of course, you know, we've got these lovely little loops we can add in, just like we do with our zingers. There we go. Yeah, the future zingers. I think it's nice to have a few different ones in your arsenal, isn't it? It depends on what you're wanting to do with it, and sometimes some things work better than others, or you just want to change. You think, you know, I've done zingers on every tile I've ever done since I knew what it was. You see here, I'm going to stick within. It's going to go over a little bit, but that's fine. See, let's have one coming into here. See, so you know it's there. There we go. Okay. And again, let's have a couple of those. I see some I'm colouring, some I'm not today. What's going on? Let's colour them in. There we go. A little bit of depth. Alright. So I'm going to add another one here. There we go. Again, depends on how your piece has turned out as to how many you're going to put in there. It's entirely up to you. There we go. Okay. And of course, if you want to, you can add in some of your regular zingers. I mean, I could have even come back in and done black ones, couldn't I? I quite like the idea of keeping the black and the white separately. It's certainly something we've not done before. Not on a live session anyway. I don't think so. Yeah. And again, if you only want to put a few in and keep it nice and clean, that's totally fine. But if you want to get a bit carried away, there's never too much. Don't worry about that. Put in what you want. Alright, it's your tile. Do as many or as few as you like. There we go. Let's have a little one here. And I'm going to put one up here. Okay, let's have a look at that. Alright, so very, very distinct differences, of course, because the white and the black. I mean, if I'd have done it all in black, it'd look different again. But what I want to do now, I'm going to come in with just a little bit of colour, I think, on the top section anyway. So, okay, I've got a bit of a green. Pens then. So I'm using the Brunswick ones on the top here. They've got a brush. I think that's pretty standard with water ones now. And of course here they've got a nice fine little fine liner as well. I'm not going to try and colour this in any way, shape or form. I'm just going to sort of add a touch of, let's go, you know, I'm not going to try and blend or anything like that. It's not what they're about. I'm just going to add a touch of colour in there, you see, just to change that up a little bit. Alright, a little bit of, it almost looks foliage-like, doesn't it? There we go. So I'm not overdoing it with the green, just giving it that little bit of a hint. Okay. Very fairy-like, isn't it? Yeah. Very interesting. Must be where my head's at the minute. Yeah. There we are. And a little bit down the bottom there. And of course, you know, I didn't have to use the brush, but just a hint. There we go. So, okay, what else have I got? I've got a bit of an orange here, and I've got a bit of yellow. So let's go in with the orange. Okay. Now again, you could do this with your pencils. I'm just going to add just a little bit in that bottom edge, and a little bit on that top edge, see? Now if I come in with the fine liner with the yellow, I'm just going to flick it out a little bit. Oh, be careful, I don't want it to sort of go and work on that black too much. There we go. Just giving it a little bit of colour. So I'm not blending them, I'm just giving it two colours. There you go. Giving that light in the centre there. There we go. A little bit on the edge. And just pulling it down a little bit. Okay. And of course you've got to be aware that your background is water-based as well, so you don't want to be overdoing too much because you don't want to swirl that. There we go. See, I love that bit there. It's lovely, isn't it? Just a little bit, see? Just enough to sort of highlight a few bits and pieces. There we go. A little bit with the brush. I'm just coming in with that liner just to sort of work it down a bit. All right. Does, yeah, because we've got the yellow and the purpley colour, it just sort of gives it that little bit of difference, doesn't it? There you are, look, you see? And I think underneath, I'm just going to add maybe just a touch of yellow. I don't want to overdo it because it's sort of in the background, isn't it? So let's just add a little bit of yellow on the edges. Nothing major, so it's almost like a reflection, isn't it? There we go. Just a little bit. Oh, Lindsay, that's a scammer, isn't it? Do you know, they're rubbish, aren't they, some of these people? They try and get money out of people for any old... It's annoying. Okay. Then again, I might just a touch on the edges there. Just a little bit of yellow. Okay, a little bit there. And then I think on the top, I'm going to just come in with my orange again. I'm just going to fill in those. Now it's not going to be as bright as you would expect because with that orange in the background, it's going to sort of help blend it in, isn't it? I say if you wanted to have coloured these in just black, so if you want to, that's fine, but I wanted to come in and keep it quite soft. I didn't want it to be too much with the black today. There we go. Little bits there. And then those. That one there. Tiny bits. Just have to sort of quick scan just to make sure I've not forgotten any. Alright, so let's just come in with our pencil and have a tortillon at the ready. Okay, so I just want to draw your attention really now to these loops that we did not so long ago. And I'm just going to add a touch of pencil to the sides there. Okay. So this is why I sharpen my pencil, is just getting into those little gaps. So it just needs a little bit of a point. There we go. Alright. And again, I'm not going to do too much, but I think just a little bit. You see, just up those stems. You see, I'm not colouring in, I'm just adding a bit of pencil. Almost like little zigzags, just straight up the centres. Alright, so let's come on in with our tortillon. And the first thing we do is on these sections, I'm just going to pull out the colour a little bit. With the graphite, just to soften the edges, but I'm leaving that gap, see? Same there, like just pull out, following that shape round, just leaving a bit of a highlight. There we go, a little bit there. And that one. You see, just ever so gently taking it round. And I think, you know, adding that little bit of graphite in just gives it a little bit of grounding. So again, just soften. I'm just going to pull it up a couple of those. There we go again. See, just softening it off. Oh, you can see there, look, I've missed one. There we go, gotcha. And just pull up a little bit, there you go, see? Same on this one. Pull up a little bit. So we're not being really, really picky about trying to fill in the, you know, all the gaps and keep everything in the lines. It's just about having that little bit of depth, you know, just to bring it in. There we go. All right, so I might even actually gonna come in, you know, this bottom corners, just adding a touch, just in that corner, looking a little bit up there. Just little bits as we go. I think people are horrible that they'll just try and take money off people through scams like that. It's just picking on the vulnerable, isn't it? It's awful. I do always try and report it if I can. You know, sometimes you try and report these things, and there's no phone call, no number, anything to actually give, you know, to sort of say you can't really call anybody to say, do you know what, they're using you as a thing. It's awful. Right, again, I'm just putting a little bit of pencil just at that bottom edge there. Not overdoing it, because remember, this is sort of almost like the shadow, you see? Oh, I know, Maureen. And then here, I'm just going to add a bit of a shadow. See, just slightly off. Bit on. See, a bit on, but off as well, you see? Might even add a little bit of one of those, you know, remember those smirks? There we go, little smiley bits. So a little bit off, look. And a bit on. So, a little bit off, a bit on. Okay, same again. A little bit in there. See, a little bit off. A little side there, and just a little bit off it too. There we go. Alright, bit on there. Okay, so you see, I'm just sort of picking one side. There you go, go in with it. Not trying to colour or do the shading in any way. I'm just going to come in and soften all that up a little bit, see? So this one, it's not too much noticeable because, I say, it's pencil on that one. It's almost like a reflection, isn't it? It's got a little bit of a drop shadow there. There we go. And of course, depending on, if you've got a plain tile, this is going to look completely different compared to if you've not. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Okay, so the choice now is whether you want to put a border around it or whether you want to keep it as is. It's, you know, it's very much depends on what you think and what you want to do. So if I actually just move that up to one side, so you can see that's where we've added colour and things. So you imagine if you had done that but done it on that piece, you would have had a totally different vibe, and you'd obviously gone in with pinks and blues maybe. And then of course, if we look at the original where it's just on a cream, I say just on a cream tile, where it's on a cream tile, it's been shaded just with the pencil, so there's no colour, and you've got a border there. So it's, you know, it's a variant, isn't it? It depends on where you want to take it and what you want to do. And I think sometimes adding that little bit of colour really steps it up and changes it. So it's worth trying, isn't it? And of course, as I say, if I came in now and I did it on this one, you're going to get a totally different vibe than doing it on this one or this one. So it's not about planning ahead, it's about taking something and thinking, do you know what, I quite like that, which is where these backgrounds come in ever so well, because you don't have any sort of control over it really, apart from the colours you put on it. So doing that and then going across the top and working with different pens, depending on how it is. I mean, I've had to work within it. So where I got this little bit here, I've made this section quite small, where I might have wanted to come out. But the options are there, and I think today it's been about learning some new tangles, because there are a couple there we've not done before, looking at the variation as to whether you're going to go with a different background or a plain one, and whether you're going to add colour or not. Choice, as I say, is absolutely yours. I'm really pleased with what I've done. I'm ever so glad that I used this one. And, you know, normally you think, oh, I'm going to put black on the background first. You might not see it as clear, but I do really like that. And of course, if you do this one and you choose to put colour on, you could always use some ink around the outsides, or you could go in and add coloured pens or pencils, whatever you want to do. So yeah, there we go. Tile 81 of the original 12. That was really funny. So by all means, you know, mix and match, have a different take on it, try something, or even maybe bring this down and don't do the bottom and just have this all the way across the tile. Do it as a circle, do this as a square frame. There's a few things that you can do to play with that there. So okay, with that done, I will leave you to go and have another cup of tea or whatever it is you're going to do this afternoon. And yeah, if you're in America, or you can see the US channels, I'm on later. And other than that, I will see you all Friday at 2 o'clock, and I'll have some bits and pieces around, so I might give you a sneaky peek then. But until then, I think let's just work with this and just enjoy what we've got. So, all right, have a good one, and I will speak to you again on Friday. So take care, everybody. Bye.